Hello, this is Greg Gilbert, host of Python's Paradise. And here we are, January 4th, 2021. Last year was a nightmare. I had done 30 interviews and then COVID decided to screw that up. So now I'm officially on Zoom and I got my first guest, and she's out of the UK, somebody I've been connected with for a while, Ms. Kerry Yates. How do you do, Kerry?
Hiya, good morning. How are you?
Yes, it's good early morning for me and mid-morning for you.
Yes, it's sort of like, yes, I'm fine. I've got lots of coffee. I'm absolutely fine.
Yeah, my cat gets sleep for me, so I'm fine.
Oh, yes. You sit there and it's like, no, I'm fine. I'll get a nap later on. It's always the way, isn't it? So,
Yes.
it's cat naps. Yep, it's absolutely fine. So, yeah, not bad going.
Well, we've been connected for quite a while through Facebook, and I know
Yeah.
you're very, very supportive of those around you. You know, you're always offering encouraging um, uh, thing to anybody that's posted something, and even today, you know. Unfortunately, Jimmy Presley, the author, horror author, we had to postpone him because of his connection issues.
Mm-hmm.
But I was supposed to have an interview, I guess, later on today with TJ Doyle, and I love the fact when I went to test this, you came on here and offered to be my test object, I guess,
It's
and I
what friends
appreciate it.
for? What friends for? At the
Well,
end of the day.
you know what? I thought, well, I've never interviewed you, so I'm going to make this my first interview of the year.
Oh,
So
I'm highly honoured.
there you
Highly
go.
honoured.
But
Highly honoured.
before we get talking about horror and 13 Fanboy and things like that, give us some of your background and how you come to get involved, where your interest in horror films come from.
Right, I am Kerry. I am 42. I am a mum and wife. I've got three autistic children and a little girl who's 2.5. I live in the UK.
Hmm.
And I am an unpaid caregiver, so because I've got three autistic boys and they're full-time work anyway. And basically, I was going to do forensic psychology 20 years ago, but then Kyle was born, and then Kyle got diagnosed with autism. And basically, my degree and his schedule for his therapies
Hmm.
were going to clash. And at the end of the day, Kyle came first. And obviously, the degree went downhill. The more sort of like, I was told I couldn't have any more children after Kyle. And then several years later, had Dylan. And then Dylan was diagnosed. And obviously, the degree in forensic psychology went out the window because obviously, we had our surprise baby, Cody, and he got diagnosed with autism. And then caregiving was my new career, and I thought I was done. And then 3 years ago, I found out I was pregnant with our daughter, and she's called Raven. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's me in a nutshell. At the end, it's sort of like my path went that way. If that makes any sense. I wanted to go and sort of study nutters and psychopaths like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and stuff. But I ended up going down the other way, and caring for my. I'm now a full-time caregiver and home educator for my children. So
Well,
that's me.
you can always go back to your degree at a later time, though. That's a good thing about that.
Yes,
Hmm.
I
Well,
could do.
you're an associate producer on 13 Fanboy, and I'm a co-producer on it. What got your interest in horror films? Do you remember the first horror film you ever seen?
Yes, it was right. My dad, sorry, Dad. I'm good. It's sort of like him. Right, my dad was looking after me and my sister,
Hmm.
and he went down to the video shop and he got Clown House. he thought it was just a circus film with clowns in a house. My mum was taking my younger sister to Sleeping Beauty, and we had the option: go stay with Dad and watch a video and have snacks at home, or go and watch. I wasn't into Sleeping Beauty, no offense to Sleeping Beauty.
Mhm.
I said, "Oh, Dad's got Clown House. We're going to watch it about the circus." Dad puts it on, darkens the room, and then, Dad, why is that clown eating that man's head? And he was like, I thought it was a circus film. Don't tell your mother. I went, okay. So, and I just turned around and I went, um, 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 don't tell your mum. He gave us $20 each to keep quiet.
Bribery.
Bribery. And then obviously, then we had like late night television came popular in England, and there was this one. It was sort of like this. I'll tell you what, I've gone to the internet to try and find it. I just put it on one night, couldn't sleep, and it was about this deranged serial killer that escaped from this asylum, and he took over the light guards keepers role in this island, where these models were holidaying or having a break, and he was killing them off one by one and stuff. And I was like, I remember that one. And then my major doings for horror was my ex broke up with me. I literally raided Blockbuster Video of all the Halloweens. I thought this is legal murder in my eyes, because what he did to me was horrible. And I sat there and I was peed off, and I got loads of popcorn and stuff, and I was like, okay. So I ended up watching Michael Myers from start to finish, Halloweens and stuff. And I think about 18, I really became a die-hard horror fan. And then I started the Jasons and stuff. And there you go. Yeah, so I'm a happy bunny. And I like horror. I prefer horror to, lovey-doveys now. Don't get me wrong, I do have the soppy moments, but when you need to chill out, get out of your comfort zone, or you had a bad day, or you've had a row with an idiot on the phone,
Yeah.
you sit there, it's like with like Adam Marcus's Secret Santa. I said, we've all been there where we want to, so you got the boyfriend at the end of the table, you cannot stand him. You can envisage yourself strangling the hell out of him. And I said, you can do that legally, watching Secret Santa, but you don't have to get the criminal record with it. They've done it all for you on screen, what you want to do to that person by smashing their bauble into their skull, because you're sitting there, you're like, I don't, you get told, be nice, it's not the time or the place to think of this stuff, and and when you're sort of sitting there with Secret Santa and that, no, that way, thank you, and stuff like that, you sit there and it's sort of like, I went, this is poetry. I went, this is brilliant, because I sat there at a Christmas table looking at people going, why am I supposed to do Christmas Day with you? Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
So, I like the anti-holiday films as well, like Valentine's, and you got loads of them. Valentine's Day, you got Valentine the film, and you got like all the Christmassy ones. I sit there and I watch them all, because after a while the hallmark gets a little bit. No, I've had enough now. Now the guy gets the girl.
Oh, Hallmark's awful.
Yes.
I know an actress right now that I'm close friends with, who refuses to do Hallmark films anymore because she said they're just dull, the characters are boring. And I know a company right now that friggin' promotes them like they're the biggest thing ever, only because they have a financial connection with them, of course. But they're the kind of people that will accuse any of society's ills on horror films and violent movies, you know. And
Yeah,
I think those people are full of shit.
exactly. It's like I like Santa's sleigh, the beginning, the first, scene where there's a big Santa's massacre in the family. I went, go Santa, because I'm sure some Santa would like to do that. You sit there and go, yes.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Passion of the Christ. So when these people start their little riles against films, I remind them this one
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of blood in it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
That shuts them up pretty quick.
It does. I say, yeah, there's lots of blood in that. So,
Oh, yeah. But at least it was well filmed, unlike those other Pure Flix movies that
mm,
I'm sorry, but
yeah,
they're not very well done. But I love it, these people that give them 4 stars because it promotes their worldview.
exactly.
Yeah, bias, aren't they?
They definitely are biased. They are. You sit there
Yeah.
and go, oh, is that star really, a true one or not, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's when
Mm,
I throw Saving Christmas in their face because that was an embarrassment.
exactly.
And I also can't stand it when these same people will attack the Wolf of Wall Street for having the most profanity. I'm like, no, Canada claims that because
Yes.
the Trailer Park Boys made SwearNet the movie, which has 900 and I believe it's 935 F bombs in it. So
Mm,
yay, SwearNet
yes.
has the most
Yes.
profanity, and it's under the World Books of Records. So
Oh,
screw you, movie
don't.
guide.
No, it's when they put. Sorry, I'm not. It's when they put the midget, and I'm like going, that midget's all going. Whoop, I'm sitting there going, whoops, that's on the Wolf of Wall Street. I sit there and I piss myself.
Well, you need to see SwearNet the movie then.
I will have to. I will have. I'll put it on my. That's to inbox me
Have you
the
seen?
name.
Are you familiar with the Trailer Park Boys?
No, I'm not. You'll have to link me, and we'll have to.
That's a TV show that's gone. And I know it's been older than a decade. I know that. I don't know how many
Mm,
seasons they've gone, but they made 3 movies.
all right.
So, yep.
You have to send me the details over,
Yeah,
and I'll have a
I'll have to
look.
do that. Yep. But
Mm-hmm.
we need to talk about 13 Fanboy. How
Oh,
did
we
you get
do.
how did you get connected with that? Were you already connected with Debbie Sue Voorhees prior?
What it was is I'm friends with Tamara Glynn
Mm-hmm.
from Halloween 5, and she's obviously their friends. And she was like, they were talking about 13 Fanboy, and I was joking. I said, oh, do you take international donations and stuff like that? She goes, actually, yes, we do. And I went, all right. And then at the time, I literally was just moving house, and I literally inherited a money pit. And I was like, well, and then obviously I got to know Deborah.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, because obviously, I want to get to know people first before I sit there, and how genuine. You get a load of requests about films, about crowdfunding and stuff like that. And I thought, well, I'm going to see how it pans out, because it's a lot of money and stuff to hand over. And it's sort of like I like the idea of it, because you can imagine someone sitting there with their locked in a basement and stuff, and being fed all these movies, you thinking they're friends is believable. And then when it's like when you're being they're writing to their star and stuff, like you can actually see the actual it can happen. You've got your the person that you absolutely adore, like Kane Hodder. So you're writing and writing and writing and getting nothing back, and you're gonna say, hey dude, yeah, I gave you all those years, I am gonna come and get you whether you like it or not. So I actually liked the actual idea of it. And I was turning 40, and at the time I was heavily pregnant with my daughter. So obviously my husband goes, look, you've got a choice: have a party later on once Raven's born, or do something that you want to do. And I said, oh, actually, I want to become an associate producer of 13 Fanboys, something for me, not for the kids, not for you, not for Raven. I want to do something for Kerry.
Yep.
And I know I said, no offense. I said, I adore my kids, I adore you, but this is for me.
Don't
And
blame you. Don't blame you.
it's sort of like the night, and the nights out I haven't been at. Yeah, sorry, sob story, but I sit there go, I want to do something for me. And he went, all right then. So I said, look, and I said, no offense. I said, I could go and have a big 40th birthday bash. And how many hypocritical people are going to be there for the free bar or the free food?
Mm-hmm.
And I went, no, actually, I want an IMBD credit, and I can actually say, yeah, that's me. Do you get what? And and I want to, and I'm all for women in horror as well,
Mm-hmm.
and to support women in horror, and I think Debbie, who's a good person, she's a good advocate for it, and and it looks like a decent, and the way I've seen some of the stills and stuff, and it looks really good, and I'm happy with it, and I'm happy to be a part of it. So that is one of the reasons why I decided to get on board, because at the end of the day, and also I forgot to add, we're a family, picture family as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you know when that perk was up? I actually sent our picture over, and we're in one of the scenes as well. So I'll be looking for our picture as well, because I thought, actually, because my kids don't mind horror films, it's mild horror, not the full on and stuff. But at the end of it, I thought, and my husband goes, actually, because I got his permission as well. I said, well, how do you like, And he goes, well, actually, yeah. I said, you may get blood on it, but fake blood. But, at the end of the day, so we've got to, I'm an associate producer, and we're in a family in the picture and stuff. So, yes.
Well, it's funny you say that because I don't know if my show was where Debbie Sue had announced it. I know I was one of the early ones to find out about it. She's been on my show 4 times, and it was on the third interview that it got brought up. And when she mentioned that Tracy Savage was going to be in it, because I had a big crush on Tracy Savage, and
Yeah.
she's been a guest on my show a couple times. And when I found out she was in it, I was sold. I got on board. But then I find out there's a perk to have my picture in a scene with Tracy Savage, and I'm like, I gotta
Sold.
do it. I was
Yeah.
sold, and I told Tracy, I said, not only did she the reason I spent all that money to become a producer on it, but she's the reason I got my picture in the movie. So my picture will be in a scene with Tracy Savage, and I'm
Yes.
very psyched about that.
Yes,
I
so am I. I just don't know where we are. I don't know what family we're going to be with. We could be with Dee Wallace. We could be with Kane. We could be, I'll be looking in the background to where our picture is. I have to do sort of 3 or 4 takes. I'll be like, where's my name? Where's our picture? And what, and what's the movie when it comes out?
Well, and I also got it so my name will be at the front credits as well. I did that
Mm,
because here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, the film industry here I'm very disappointed with because
mm,
we had a chance to move forward. It just seems to me that we're moving backwards. And when I brought up to the local film industry here that I was go be part of 13 Fanboy, I asked if we could have it play at the film festival here.
mm,
And I was asked if I was starring in it. And I'm like, I have cameoed in 9 James Balsamo films, but I'm not an actor. In a James Balsamo movie, I can be a bad actor and it's not going to hurt the spirit of the film or the tone.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not an actor in 13 Fanboy because I would stand out like Tommy Wiseau from The Room.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they kind of they came across to me like they turned their nose up at the project. So I'm like, okay, Well, Los Angeles is interested in 13 Fanboy, so is Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
and so is a lot of other places. So I just brought a New Brunswick connection to the Friday the 13th fan base or franchise, and they don't see the value in that. But yet,
Yeah.
when I don't see anything coming from their organization that's got any worldwide appeal. They have their little film festival, pat each other on the back,
Mm.
but in the end of the day, are people in other countries and other places in the world seeing their projects?
Nope.
Very few. And I decided to dust my feet off with them, shake the gravel off my feet off with them, and move into this. And I'm kind of happy about it. I wish them well, but if they want to become smaller instead of bigger, then I prefer to move forward, which is
At
why I
the end
went.
of the day, you could say you tried.
Well, you know what? I'm happy to be part of 13 Fanboy, and I find the community that come out of it. Yourself, Jason Bradford, Troy Elke, Noelle Berger, Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
Presley, people like that. That this Chris Norris. There's this little community of people that aren't known actors or producers. We kind of form this little bond. I
Yeah.
find that very interesting, and I also like the people of 13 Fanboy that are able to be personable. I've made a lot of good connections, as I know you have.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I sit there and I pinch myself to some of the connections that I have made. Deborah, Adam, Debbie Sue, yourself. I got a whole bubble of you. I've got a horror family. So when I sort of like say horror family, I'm like, yes, that one, that one, that one, that one. And I'm proud to be a part of that horror family genre and stuff, at the end of the day, it's sort of like we get it, and the people sit there and go, "What's horror family?" And I go, "It's a believe it or not, we're a bunch of lovely people who like horror, the horror genre. We like the indie horror genre, and we get on like a house on fire. And when they do sort of like the live, when Debbie's Sue's birthday, we watched the Friday the 13th. She was there.
Hmm.
We're all having a chat and watching along and stuff. And it was lot. I sat there with a glass of wine, some snacks, and it was just like we're all in one big room watching Debbie's Friday the 13th, and it's you sit there, and it's like you're all in the same yeah, and you're all and I find the horror family is the most kindest bunch of people you'll ever know. Even though say Adam's done what he's done, and you've got Chris doing his stuff, but at the end of the day, you're the best bunch of people. I can hand on heart say you're wonderful. You may be blood and gore, and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's like, when I was speaking to Adam about possibly doing a project myself, and it's on hold at the moment for COVID and kids and stuff like that. He said, "Oh, give me a little scene out of your project," and I actually told him I had this idea, and he went, "Kerry Yates." He went, "You look so sweet and innocent in your pictures. You've got a deep, dark mind, really, haven't you?" I went, "I didn't mean to." But the scene I had in my head was like, he was like, "That's quite, hardcore for you." I went, "No," I said, "Don't let appearances be deceptive, aren't they? We've all got it in us." So, and it did inspire me to get, the ball rolling. Obviously, it had to stop. But I said, the horror family, circle, unit, and stuff, I love you all to bits. At the end of the day, and I met you. I met so many. We back each other up with projects and stuff like that. When someone's got a new project on the way, we back each other up and stuff. And it's nice because I don't know where in this world you get that backup, which you don't get anywhere else.
Thank goodness for social media, because I know when
Yeah,
I was in school, we still had typewriters. Who'd have
yeah,
thought where we'd be now? And I got my name on these movies. You got your name on these movies. It's very surreal.
exactly. It's like when, on my old hometown, they got like a little page. Name something that no one knows about you. I said, I'm associate producer of a horror film. They went, really? And I went, yeah. I said, I don't mention it. But obviously, if you go to IMBD, look at 13 Fanboy in the producer section, my name was there. I went, oh, never knew that. I said, well, you don't never ask. So that all they see is Kerry and caregiver, and not Kerry has other interests outside of the house, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, at the end of the day, hopefully, once COVID's a bit more, hemmed in, hopefully more projects will come that I'll be interested in and get involved with. So,
Well, Debbie Sue has said her aim, she was going to try to have the film come out in 2020, but obviously COVID prevented that. And we are back in the theaters here. Our theaters are open, but the station I was affiliated with is not open. So that's why I started the Zoom thing. But
mm-hmm,
I've been going to the movies again since late or early July. So
mm-hmm,
we're in the yellow phase here with COVID. So we're getting there, and I'm hoping 2021 is a better year. Debbie Sue has said the aim is to have 13 Fanboy come out August 13th, 2021. I'm
mm-hmm.
hoping that we'll be able to do that.
Yeah, because at the moment I'm back into home lockdown here. Yes, the
Yeah,
worst. So basically, I'm on the equivalent of a home set home order.
yeah.
So, and all our cinemas are shut down. So again, I don't think any cinemas are open in the UK now. So
I don't know. I'll be glad when this thing takes a hike. It's like I don't know. It's rotten. What other projects can you talk about that you're involved with?
there is. As I've got my own personal one, which is did he got away with it? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Which is it's I want to sort of like bring up the English thriller horror. So
Mm-hmm.
I've got that, which is sort of like on the back burner because obviously family has to come first at the moment with
Mm-hmm.
COVID. But it's all I can say is we have a an event here called Goodwood Festival of Speed, and that is where there's sort of like a big lord of the manor. That's the only way I'll try and explain it. He's got a big estate which he opens up to to the general public, and you could buy a ticket and you could go what's like all the motor racing stars and that, and they have like all the DJs and that, they're like a big festivals and stuff like that. So that's where I got my idea from. And it's a case of my character has been going to these place, a similar situation called Stanton. It's called Stanton States Events, and they sort of like you can go in, you can do a bit of, it can be like a toff for the day, a lord for the day, and you can go, and then at the end of it, they do. But he has a case of he has to go and kill, and over the last 6 7 years, girls have been getting murdered at these events, and it starts off at his trial, and there's a that I'm trying not to give too much away, but there's a sort of like something happens at the trial, and they find him not guilty, and
Okay.
then and basically he goes out thinking, "Oh, I'm not guilty" and stuff like that, and then shit happens. It's the only way to describe it. And at the end, and what it is all his victims are getting their revenge from beyond the grave. If that makes any sense.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, Kerry looks all sweet and innocent. I sat there and I was like going, Yeah, because I'm in, because I wanted to study serial killers and stuff like that and get into their heads. And I sat there and I thought maybe, because maybe because with Debbie's film and with Adam Marcus and his, influences and stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
thought maybe Kerry can write her own. And I got the bare bones of it, but obviously I've got to put the meat on the bones for the to carry on. And I've got to start. Obviously, then COVID hit, and then I ended up home educating the kids. So,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, I got it there, but it's finding the time at the moment to finish it off. If that makes any sense. And
Here's a question I have. Have you ever been to the conventions when they're in the UK?
you know what? I have never been to a convention before in my life because of the way my kids are. I can literally be going out the door and then something will happen and I
Mm.
have to come home. So at the end of the day, sort of like the only thing I'll say COVID has done is, do you know when the conventions go online or they do a free couple of hours?
Yeah.
Like S.A. Bradley does his, talks and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
so, with other people. I sit there and I go, well, this is close to convention as I'm going to get, really, because unfortunately, all the conventions are either in London, Liverpool, and I'm too far away. And if an emergency crops up with the kids, I can't get back. So no, unfortunately, I did want to. It's like I did want to go to the Haddonfield, the one in Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, one of my kids got seriously ill, and the idea went out the window. So it's just the way my life is. People sit there and go, "Oh, but," and I go, "Well, at the end of the day, my kids come first, and I can't plan too far ahead, just in case something happens." So,
Well, are you involved in any charities that you want to share on here?
well, I did a transatlantic fundraiser for Project Angel Food.
Mm-hmm.
I was, it was at 3 in the morning here, and me and Gabriel Booty and Richard Ayub from Project Angel Food, we all sort of like went on to Instagram Live, and I ended up doing Last Christmas by Wham, doing a duet with Gabriel Booty. So I did that with a Christmas jumper on, and the husband was going, Kerry, it's 3 in the morning. I goes, yeah, but it's a Project Angel food. You do not understand. I said, we're saving, people. Yeah. And obviously, I donate to like the hospice that looked after my dad in his final years. And
Mm-hmm.
we did. And what me and my boys did a charity walk for them. That's St Wilfrid's Hospice in Chichester, West Sussex, UK. And I only do charities that touch our hearts and stuff. So mainly St Wilfred's and obviously Project Angel Feed. So that's the only ones that really. And I only go to the genuine ones, not the ones that go to your door. Like we have a lot of doorstep people that knock on your door. Can you give us this? Can you give us that? I go,
Yeah.
actually, you haven't personally affected my life, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's, and I was happy. I'm happy with the little minimal ones that I do. It's like each year, because my dad died probably 11 years ago this year.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's birthday fund goes to hospice. Even my dad's birthday fund, I donate to hospice once a year to say, right here, thank you. I know you were doing your job, but this is to thank you for all the help you gave us and my dad in the last week of his life. It's like I'm an avid George Michael fan, and I agree with what Project Angel Food does for the people of Los Angeles. And currently, they're sort of like had to get rid of all their volunteers and actually employ proper, the chefs to come in and work. And I was quite happy to be involved with the fact is I helped raise $3,000 to keep them working. So I'm happy with that.
You said you're a George Michael fan. Do you have a favorite George Michael song?
Oh, I have loads of. I have. I don't think there's sort of like. It'll be trends. It's like Last Christmas. You got Monkey,
Yep.
Ace, and Different Corner, which was one of our wedding songs because it was quite personal. So
Hmm.
I sat there, and like George when he died, I was like, blimey. So just proves life is short.
Hmm.
You know, and that's one of the reasons why like I got in touch with the project, with like the project that Debbie Sees did. Was I thought I will sit there and regret it if I don't do it. So that's one of the reasons why like my dad, he died at the age of 56 of esophageal cancer, and at that time there was no information. If you googled esophageal cancer, it came up with Robert Kardashian, which is Kim Kardashian's dad. And once I sort of like grieved and stuff, sorry to go off topic, but I ended up setting up my cancer awareness page, for the cancer that my dad died of, just so there is a little bit of support out there. Because back in the day, 11 years ago, when Facebook was in its infancy, there wasn't a lot out there, if that make, and I just sort of like there as a buffer if someone needs it. So that's why I do it.
Well, it was wonderful having you be my first Zoom guest and
It's a
my
pleasure.
first 2021 interview.
Yeah,
You- yeah, you're my test on this. I'm hoping this comes through. You can hear me fine. I can hear you fine. So
yeah,
there's supposed to be a way to save this and stuff on here. So it should turn out fine. And when I
yeah.
get when I get this all set, I will send you a link. I don't know when that'll be, so you'll have to be patient with me.
It's fine. I've got all the time in the world.
Eventually, it'll go up on my YouTube channel, but that'll be a while yet. You don't mind if I use a pic of you to go along with the audio on that, huh?
Oh, no, no, no. If you want me to send you one, I can send you one or whatever. It's up to you. I'll
You can
send
send
you
me
one.
one on Facebook Messenger. That sounds fine.
Yeah, I'll do that for you.
Yeah. Well, you know what? 13 Fanboy, we're hoping it comes up for 2021. I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy we're both part of that. And yeah, that's something in itself to celebrate.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. And it'd be nice to see some more chilling and killing, and news chilling and killing, because only so much reruns you can watch. It's sort of like I was so excited when Hubie Halloween come out. I was like, oh, something new. Blimey, because after a while you get bored of watching the same film over and over again. So,
I can do it.
I can, but then when there's something new, I'm like, oh, and I watched a new one with old there's a new one out, which Freaky was funny.
Oh,
Oh,
Freaky was great. I went to it twice.
I watched that and I went, some new horror, some new blood. Yes. And do you know you sit there and go, I know what's gonna happen now on that one. And then when obviously in the new horror style stuff comes out, you're like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, I actually might get genuinely scared for 5 minutes, isn't it? So yes, it'd be nice. Look, just please, I need some new horror. So let's get this COVID out of the way so we can get back to cinemas to watch these things.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you very much for coming on here today. Is there anything else you want to promote or plug before we close off?
No, as I say, all I say is thank you for having me on. And we got there in the end because it was a very silent movie at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, took us a bit. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it's all I say is just stay safe and you do the best you can with what we've got at the moment. And at the end of the day, and thank you for having me on. It's
well,
been
a
nice.
special thanks to Ryan Brown, my magician friend from Toronto, who come on here to help me get this connected right. And he just happened to be online and made the offer to me. So yes, I'm happy to be connected with you, and I'm very happy that you're my first interview of the year.
Thanking you. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Well, you take care and you have yourself a wonderful day, and
Yes,
happy 13 fanboy.
definitely. Yes. You
Pe-
take care.
Peace out.
Peace. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.